Hello and welcome. Today, I want to speak with you directly about something that has been causing a lot of confusion, worry, and even false hope for many seniors and families. And that is the talk about a so called Venezuela stimulus check and how it connects or does not connect to stimulus payments and benefits here in the United States. There are many messages online, in videos, in social media posts, and even in text messages that mix together global news, political arguments, and real financial struggles. And they turn all of that into very unclear claims about new money coming to Americans. So in this video, I want to slow everything down and explain clearly what is actually happening, what is not happening, and what seniors in the United States really need to pay attention to right now when it comes to Social Security, SSI, pensions, and financial help. First, let us talk about why people are even using the phrase Venezuela stimulus check when discussing American benefits. This phrase usually appears when people talk about economic problems in other countries, especially countries that have had serious inflation, currency collapse, or government cash programs to help citizens survive. Venezuela has gone through very difficult economic times over the last several years, and their government has used direct payments, bonuses, and food programs to support people. When people online talk about that, some content creators then compare those programs to stimulus checks in the United States and suggest that similar emergency payments could happen again here. But these are two very different systems, two very different economies, and two very different legal processes. Just because one country gives emergency cash does not mean another country automatically follows the same path. In the United States, stimulus checks only happen when Congress passes a law and the president signs it. That is how the major stimulus payments during the pandemic were approved. Those checks were not automatic and they were not controlled by Social Security or state governments. They were federal emergency programs passed during a national crisis. Right now, there is no active federal law that authorizes another round of broad stimulus checks for all Americans. That does not mean there is no financial help at all, but it does mean that anyone promising new universal stimulus checks should be treated with caution. So, why are seniors still hearing about money, bonuses, and new deposits? The reason is that the United States does have regular benefit adjustments, special programs for low-income seniors, and changes in tax credits and state assistance that can feel like stimulus to people who qualify. Social Security payments change each year because of cost of living adjustments, which are meant to help keep up with inflation. SSI payments also increase when those adjustments happen. Veterans benefits, pensions, and some state programs may also increase or issue special supplements during certain times of the year. These are real programs, but they are not stimulus checks in the same way the pandemic payments were. Another reason for confusion is that some online messages mix immigration, foreign aid, and domestic benefits into one story and suggest that money sent to other countries could somehow turn into checks for seniors in the United States. That is not how federal budgeting works. Funds for international programs and funds for Social Security and Medicare come from very different parts of the budget. Social Security is funded mainly by payroll taxes that workers pay during their careers. Medicare is funded by payroll taxes and premiums. These programs are not paid out of foreign aid budgets. So even when there is international news about economic help in other countries, it does not directly affect Social Security payments to U.S. seniors. Now let us talk about what seniors in the United States should actually be focusing on right now. The most important thing is understanding your regular monthly benefits and any changes that may apply to you personally. Social Security retirement benefits depend on your work history and the age when you claimed benefits. SSI depends on your income and assets. Some people receive both and others receive only one. Veterans benefits depend on service records and disability status. Pension payments depend on employer plans and retirement agreements. Each of these systems has different rules, and changes in one do not automatically mean changes in another. For Social Security and SSI recipients, payment schedules remain steady, and any increase usually comes from annual adjustments or specific eligibility reviews. Seniors should always review their benefit letters carefully when they receive them, because that is where official information appears first. Those letters explain payment amounts, deductions, Medicare premiums, and any changes in eligibility. If someone hears about a new bonus or extra check but does not receive a notice from Social Security, that is usually a sign that the claim may not be accurate. Another topic that creates confusion is tax refunds and refundable tax credits. Some seniors who file taxes may receive refunds because of overpaid taxes or special credits. When those payments arrive, they can feel like stimulus checks, especially if the amount is larger than expected. But those are tax-related payments, not new federal relief programs. They depend on individual tax situations. filing status, and income levels. People who do not file taxes or who have very low income may not see those same payments. It is also important to understand that some states offer their own relief programs for seniors, including property tax rebates, heating assistance, food benefits, and emergency support during extreme weather. These programs are very helpful, but they are not nationwide and they do not follow the same rules in every state. So when someone hears that seniors are getting extra money, it may be true in one state and not in another. That is why national videos and posts can be misleading if they do not explain local differences. Now let us return to the emotional side of why these rumors spread so easily. Many seniors are under serious financial pressure. Prices for food, rent, utilities, and medical care have gone up. Even with annual Social Security increases, many people still feel that their checks do not stretch far enough. When people are worried about money, they are more likely to believe hopeful news about extra help coming soon. Some online creators take advantage of that fear and hope by using dramatic titles and unclear claims that suggest secret payments or hidden programs. That is why it is so important to stay grounded in verified information and not rely on excitement-based headlines. There is also the issue of scams. Whenever people believe that new checks are coming, scammers quickly try to take advantage of that. They send fake messages claiming to help people claim benefits, update information, or release payments faster. They ask for personal information, bank details, or fees. Government agencies do not charge fees to release benefits, and they do not ask for sensitive information through text messages or social media. Seniors should always protect their personal information and contact official offices directly if they have questions. So what should seniors actually do right now to protect their finances and stay informed? The most helpful action is to make sure all benefit information is accurate and up to date. That includes addresses, banking details, and income records if receiving SSI or other income-based programs. It is also important to review budgets, look for local assistance programs, and speak with trusted family members or community organizations when facing financial hardship. Waiting for a rumored stimulus check that may never come can cause people to delay seeking help that is actually available now. This brings us to a very important truth that often gets lost in online discussions. Real financial stability for seniors usually comes from steady, predictable income, not one-time payments. While emergency checks can help in crisis situations, long-term support comes from properly managed benefits, healthcare coverage, housing assistance, and community programs. That is where most real help exists today, and that is where seniors should focus their attention. In the next part of this video, I will explain in more detail what realistic financial changes seniors may still see in the near future, how benefit reviews and adjustments work, and what signs truly indicate that new government payments are being approved. I will also explain what to do if you are struggling right now and cannot wait for future policy changes. Stay with me because understanding these details can help you make better decisions and avoid unnecessary stress. Now let us continue by talking about what kinds of financial changes seniors in the United States can realistically expect and how to tell the difference between normal benefit updates and claims of brand new stimulus programs. This is important because confusion often comes from mixing routine adjustments with emergency relief programs, even though they follow very different rules and timelines. Another situation that can increase payments is a benefit review or correction. Sometimes Social Security updates earnings records, recalculates benefits, or fixes past underpayments. When that happens, people may receive back payments or higher future checks. These payments are individual and case-specific, not nationwide programs. That is why two people can hear the same rumor but have very different experiences with their deposits. There are also changes related to Medicare premiums. When premiums increase or decrease, the amount deducted from Social Security checks can change, which affects the net amount people receive. When premiums decrease or increase more slowly than benefit adjustments, people may feel like they received a bonus, but it is actually a result of healthcare cost changes, not new stimulus money. Now let us talk about Congress and new relief programs. When the government passes large financial relief programs, it becomes major national news, not hidden information. During the pandemic, stimulus checks were discussed publicly for weeks or months before being approved. News outlets, government agencies, and public officials all talked about it openly. If a new nationwide stimulus program were being approved today, it would not be a secret. It would be discussed in public debates, legislative proposals, and official announcements. That is why claims about hidden or secret stimulus programs should always be questioned carefully. However, that does not mean that no financial help is being considered at all. Policymakers often discuss targeted support, such as expanding tax credits, adjusting benefits for specific groups, or funding community programs. These discussions can take a long time and may or may not result in new laws. Until a law is passed and signed, no payments are guaranteed. That is why it is risky to plan personal finances around rumors instead of confirmed benefit schedules. Now, let us address something very important for seniors who are already struggling financially. If your current income is not covering basic needs, waiting for possible future checks is not the safest plan. There are existing programs that can help with food, utilities, rent, medical costs, and transportation. These programs may be federal, state, or local, and they are often underused because people do not know they qualify. Community senior centers, nonprofit organizations, and social service offices can help people apply for these programs. These resources can provide steady assistance rather than one-time payments. It is also important to understand that financial stress affects mental and physical health. Worrying constantly about money can increase anxiety, affect sleep, and worsen medical conditions. That is why taking action, even small steps, can make a big difference in overall well-being. Reaching out for assistance is not a failure. It is a smart and responsible way to protect your health and independence. Another topic that needs to be explained clearly is how misinformation spreads. Many online videos use emotional language, dramatic music, and urgent claims to attract attention. The goal is often to increase views and engagement, not to provide accurate guidance. Titles may suggest that payments are guaranteed or already approved when that is not true. Viewers may share these videos with friends and family, spreading confusion even further. Over time, repeated exposure to these messages can make them feel believable, even when there is no official confirmation. This is where trusted information sources matter. Official benefit letters, direct communication from government agencies, and local assistance offices provide the most reliable guidance. Family members can also help seniors verify claims and understand official notices. Taking time to confirm information before reacting emotionally can prevent unnecessary stress and protect against scams. Now let us return to the phrase Venezuela Stimulus Check and what it symbolizes in these conversations. Often, it is used to warn about economic instability or government failure, suggesting that the United States could face similar problems. While it is important to be aware of economic risks, it is also important to understand that the U.S. retirement system is structured very differently from countries that rely on emergency cash programs during crises. Social Security is a long-standing system funded by worker contributions over decades. It faces challenges, but it is not the same as sudden emergency relief payments. Mixing these topics can create fear without offering useful solutions. Seniors deserve clear, calm explanations, not panic-driven predictions. Financial planning works best when people understand what income they can rely on, what expenses they face, and what help is available when needed. That is why focusing on realistic financial management is more helpful than waiting for dramatic political changes. Let us also talk about family support. Many seniors rely on family members for help with paperwork, budgeting, and decision-making. Open communication can make a big difference. Families who talk honestly about finances can plan better for healthcare costs, housing needs, and long-term care. Avoiding these conversations because they are uncomfortable can lead to bigger problems later. If you are a senior watching this video, remember that you are not alone in feeling uncertain about the future. Many people share the same concerns about rising costs and limited income. The most important thing is to stay informed, stay cautious about dramatic claims, and take practical steps to protect your financial stability. If you are helping a senior, your support matters greatly. Helping them understand official letters, verify information, and access assistance programs can reduce stress and prevent costly mistakes. Patience and clear communication can make a difficult situation more manageable. As we come to the end of this video, I want to remind you of the most important points we discussed today. Claims about Venezuela stimulus checks do not mean that new stimulus payments are being issued to seniors in the United States. Social Security, SSI, pensions, and veterans benefits follow specific legal rules and do not change based on rumors or foreign events. Real financial changes usually come from cost of living adjustments, benefit reviews, healthcare premium changes, and local assistance programs, not from secret national relief plans. Waiting for unconfirmed payments can delay people from seeking real help that already exists. Protecting your personal information, verifying claims, and staying connected with trusted sources can prevent scams and unnecessary stress. Financial security is built on steady income, informed decisions, and community support, not on viral headlines. You have learned today how to separate rumors from reality, why these confusing claims spread, and what truly affects your benefits and financial future. This knowledge gives you more control and helps you make smarter choices. Even in uncertain times, clear information and practical action can make a real difference in your daily life. Thank you for taking the time to listen, to learn, and to care about your financial well being. Stay informed, stay cautious, and remember that understanding your benefits is one of the strongest tools you have to protect yourself and your future.